Hey folks, driving back from Seattle now, and I realized there's a perspective I haven't shared that I think is valuable and important about why more women than men have migraines and why women have such higher incidences of hypothyroidism than men. When I talk about these medications that contain fluoride, you'd think, given how many people are on anti-anxiety medications, that a lot more people, including men, since a lot of men are also on those, would have migraine from this fluoride. So the question is, why, if there's so much widespread contamination in our bodies with fluoride, why is it that it seems that women are more affected by this if this phenomena is actually taking place, which I believe it is? And it has to do with, I believe, iodine. I've mentioned before that fluoride is a halide, it displaces iodine. And so obviously both men and women have a thyroid gland, right? Both men and women can suffer from hypothyroidism. Why would taking fluoride affect women more? And why would, just even aside from fluoride toxicity, why would there be a higher incidence of hypothyroidism in women than in men? And the reason for this, I believe, is because women have a much, much higher need for iodine than men do. After the thyroid gland, the highest concentrations of iodine in a woman's body are in her breasts and ovaries. So that means that a woman who is iodine deficient will, when that iodine comes into her body's going to have to decide, am I going to use this to kill viruses or bacteria or fungus, or am I going to use this to make thyroid hormone, or am I going to use this for breast tissue or for the ovaries? It's going to be compromised. The body is going to have to compromise somewhere in allocating that iodine to one place at the expense of another. And if you add fluoride to the mix, that's going to be even more exacerbated. I even read in the book Healing is Voltage by Jerry Tennant, he said that the body will actually attempt to make thyroid hormone with fluoride instead of iodine when it doesn't have iodine, because they're similar chemically. They're in atomic weight, rather. So that's why when you are deficient in iodine and you've had a lot of fluoride exposure, if you start to take iodine, the body will say, oh, that's what I was wanting this whole time. It will release the fluoride and it will, uptake the iodine, which is what it preferred all along. So bottom line, women need a lot more iodine than men. And there are ways you can use iodine topically to get replete in very specific areas, like in your ovaries and breasts. That's preventative against breast cancer. Iodine does a lot of incredible things, but one of the incredible things that it does is it converts the more toxic forms of estrogen into the healthier forms of estrogen. So iodine does a lot. It's very important. And it's also really, really important that when people take iodine, especially if they've been deficient in it for a long time or they have a high body burden of fluoride, that they're aware of the potential for detox symptoms, and also that iodine has reciprocal relationships with other minerals. That's why the hair tissue mineral analysis is so valuable, because you don't want to take a whole bunch of iodine at the expense of other important minerals that you also need for thyroid function. For example, if you're low in copper, you take a bunch of iodine and then you lower your copper further, that would not be supportive or beneficial for your thyroid gland. So the hair tissue mineral analysis and keeping mineral dynamics in mind is really, really critical whenever we're trying to catch up and get replete on a mineral that we've been deficient in for a long time. Hope that was helpful.